Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to Drippin, the podcast where we take a sneak peek into the window of society and report back to you. This week, we're going to talk about why some women are attracted to the Dark Triad traits in men. So, what is the Dark Triad? The Dark Triad are a group of 3 distinct personality traits that overlap each other. Now, when I say traits, I'm not talking about clinical diagnosis, we're talking subclinical. Someone who exhibits the traits not strong enough to be actually diagnosed of having any of the above. What do they consist of? Narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. So, are these actually a real thing, or is it just a bunch of people behaving badly? Well, I'm glad you asked. In 2002, 2 doctors, a Dr. Paulhouse and a Dr. Williams, conducted an experiment survey study from a university in Canada, British Columbia, I believe. And the whole purpose was to establish if these traits were their own independent bodies, if you will. Yes, I'm afraid that they are. I won't go into details about the methodology, about the study, but I'll leave links underneath, so just have a look underneath the video later and it'll take you to the site and you can see it for yourself. Okay, now that academia has slapped us in the face and told us, yes, this is indeed a real phenomenon, what do they consist of? How do they manifest? Okay, let's start with the most commonly used one, narcissist. One of the biggest buzzwords of this era, isn't it? Such and such is a narcissist. Oh, she's going out with him, he's a narcissist. Oh yeah, she's a narcissist, blah, blah, blah. That word gets thrown around more than my girlfriend during a lovemaking. Narcissism, what is it? Okay, I could sum it up briefly for you. A person who has a deluded sense of self-importance. They believe that they're better than everybody else. They believe that they deserve more than anyone else. The center of the universe is me. Narcissism. Machiavellianism. Master manipulators, master charmers. And let's admit it, we all love charmers, right? We love compliments. You know, that person who says these wonderful things and the words just tumble from his lips like jewels. Yes, master manipulators. A tactic of theirs is to keep a person in the dark so that they can later monopolize on that person's ignorance. Again, I can't understate how masterful they are at manipulation. An example of this could be a guy that goes to a nightclub with his girlfriend who is beautiful. She walks into the place and other guys are looking at her. They don't approach, but they're looking at her. He sees them looking and feels some type of way. Later, he'll return home and he'll then profess to his girlfriend about how when he went off to the toilet, conveniently on his own, so many girls accosted him and came over and wanted to talk, and he was like this, that and the other. Machiavellianism. Psychopathy. Psychopaths. Psychopaths lack empathy, guilt, remorse, and regret. Now, these kind of traits will be easily identifiable, right? Wrong. You see, that's what makes this group particularly more dangerous and insidious than the others, because over the years, they've learned to masquerade as normal, to behave just like you and me, to creep up on you in the dark and just when you're least expecting it. Sorry, I digress. So, now we know what the Dark Triad are, we can ask the question, why is it that some women are attracted to men with Dark Triad traits? Okay, let's go through a few options. 1. Confidence. Most women are attracted to confident men. Let me reiterate, most women, not all. Oh, there. Most women are attracted to confident men. Their backs and shoulders are strong and can hold the weight of the world. There's never a problem that they can't fix. They're never stumped by any kind of a situation that they can't overcome. Success and provisions are guaranteed. The Dark Triad have this in abundance. It could be pseudo-confidence, but by the time you find out that it's not real confidence, you're hooked. Flattery and attention. The Dark Triad are master manipulators, whether it be slowly but surely creating a sense of dependency by buying you everything you ever wanted, or whether it be lavishing you with the ever-present number one drug that women need this day and age, validation. But he'll soon take it away and leave you wanting more. Love bombing. You know, when you meet the guy and he kisses you and he holds you and he lifts you up to places that you've never been before. He says things that are so good. Your dopamine receptors are firing. You can't get any higher than this. If loving you is wrong, baby, I don't want to be right. And then all of a sudden... train wreck, car crash, cortisol, stress hormone, is released into your system. And the best way to get rid of that is dopamine. And this is all a biochemical manifestation of the treatments and experiences that you've been having lately. You don't know. You can't identify what the problem is, but you know it's something to do with them. And you're right. It is to do with them. It's the way that they're treating you. When they're treating you really good, the dopamine receptors are, oh God, they're all there. When they're treating you really bad, you're down. And like any drug addict, you want more. You need a fix. So you'll sacrifice. You'll stay in. You won't go here. You won't go there. You'll do anything to make sure that they treat you well so you can get your next hit of dopamine. You're addicted and you don't know it. And the cycle continues. Are you empathic? Do you have an unnatural level of empathy? Do you feel sorry for people? Can you put yourself in their position? Careful. Another manipulation is the victim story. Let's use a man for an example. When he tells you stories about something that's happened, is he the victim? I mean, don't get me wrong. We as guys, we love to joke. And unfortunately, part of being human is we find humour in other people's misfortune.
Okay. Here's a song. Fucking hell!
But how did the story end? Did he tell you about something that happened really, really bad and he was the poor victim and it was really, really bad, but it's okay? Or did he make a sarcastic quip about it and carry on and roll with the punches? Does he even say anything like, oh God, I'm the most unluckiest man in the world, but then still carry on and do what he's doing? No, he's always the victim. He's manipulating you. He's capitalizing on your empathy, probing it, measuring it, and planning for insidious things. Watch out. Power, plain and simple. I heard a saying the other day, behind every powerful man is a powerful woman. What? I heard a saying the other day, the woman is the neck and the man is the head. Wherever the neck turns, the head will look. I like that. Psychopaths usually occupy quite a high level in our societal structure. They could be your managing director, CEO, boss in your work. If it's a group of friends that you frequent, he could be the alpha and the one who dictates where you're going, what you're doing, where you're meeting. A psychopath is a force of nature. He's an unstoppable machine. He will not stop to achieve what his goals are. A psychopath will not hesitate to mow you down should you stand in his way. So let's look at the beast from Beauty and the Beast for a moment. The beast, a force of nature, all-powerful, reputation far and wide, commands fear. But he's nice to his woman. He tends to her. She has his ear. So by extension, is she not as powerful as him? If a woman can get the ear of a psychopath in such a position, she's got power. Okay, so those are a few reasons why some women are attracted to men with dark triad traits. So let's have a talk. I'm going to use men and women for this example, so I won't take offense. People are falsely labeled with these traits. I mean, you've heard it yourself. Such and such is going out with this girl and she's a narcissist. Oh, God, yeah, he won't let me do this. He's so narcissistic. But what is he doing? Okay, let's talk about control freak. What is he trying to control? Is he trying to control you not seeing your friends? Okay, if he is, and he knows nothing about your friends, he's got to go. If he has friends himself, and your friend comes round, and he sees her, and there's no problem, he's got to go. If there's no problem, nothing being said, nothing in the past, there's no dates in common, there's no problem with your friend, he's got to go. But in the other circumstances, why does he have a problem with your friend? Is your friend single? Is she married? Is she promiscuous? Does she like to go out on the weekend? Does she keep prompting and dragging you to go on these all-girl nights out? Is there an ex that's in common? Have you told him any information about the friend? Has she given you any advice that'll be detrimental to him and or your relationship? If that's the case, why would it be a control freak if he wants to limit your exposure to said friend? Because let's face it, some of you women give the most terrible advice ever. I'm going to attach a article from BUSTLE, and it talks about who women cheat with, among other things. So anyone who's interested can again look underneath and have a read yourself. But there's a phenomenon out there where women say, oh, I have loads of friends, and they're guys, but they're just friends. Really? I touched on this on the previous reaction video. If a woman surrounds herself with friends who are guys, according to the article underneath, you know what? Forget the article, forget statistics, use your own imagination, use your own head. Remember the things you've seen, remember the things you've been told, open your eyes and look in society. Most times when a woman cheats, it's with a guy that she's previously referred to as being a friend. As I said, it was touched in our last podcast. If a woman has friends and you call those guys and the woman says, look, I've been thinking about you and I want it, the majority of those men will say yes. They would say yes. Are they real friends then? Really? Or are they just predators waiting for you to have one Lamborghini too much or slip? So, the point I'm trying to get at is a woman that surrounds herself with friends, they're not actually friends. They're potential suitors. So if a man wants to limit your exposure to said potential suitors, what's the problem? Let's flip it and reverse it. If your boyfriend or husband came back home one day and said to you, okay, I'm going to go out on Saturday. I'll probably leave at 8. I get back for about 6 or 5 or something. I'm going out with a bunch of girlfriends from work. Like, they're just friends. Like, it's a bunch of girls. Like, would you be happy? Okay, let's tone it down a bit. Okay, let's put the safety of daylight in there. If your guy came back on Saturday and said, oh, I'm just going to shoot up to Costa in the city centre. I'm just going to meet up with a friend. She's a girl. And we're just going to have a little catch up and talk. We haven't seen each other for ages. Would you be happy? No. Another one is posting pictures on social media. Now, God, I don't even believe that we really need to talk about this. As a matter of fact, I do believe that most of the people out there know exactly and just don't admit it and act stupid. Like when a guy fancies a girl and the girl can see it and her boyfriend will go, that guy totally fancies you, and she's like, oh no, he's great, he doesn't. Stop it. Stop lying. You love the validation. So when a man posts a picture on social media, to be really honest with you, in a lot of sites out there, a man can barely do that because there seems to be some kind of biased moderation that goes on where if a man reveals his six-pack or his top, it gets stopped. But let's talk about Instagram, where you're allowed to do things like that. If a man with a very good physique, he's built, he's got muscles, posts a picture, he doesn't get anywhere near the likes, i.e. validation, that women get at all. And women, as we know, thrive on this these days. It's all about attention. It's all about validation. It's all about likes, clicks, and follows. So when a woman posts a picture, she knows that there are going to be armies of simps that are going to like, comment, and in some cases, comment inappropriately. And we all know quite well that girls these days, they don't put the boyfriends or partners on their Instagram, do they? They like to appear single. I wonder why that is. But anyway, she'll post these pictures and she'll get all of these likes. What are these pictures? Okay, let's say, for example, if you post pictures of you on location, London, Golden Gate Bridge, Niagara Falls, against a wall that has wings on, so it looks like you have wings on your back and you look like a fairy. Great. Hell, you can even be on a beach in Spain with other people. You've got a beautiful bikini body. Flaunt it. Don't objectify it. What are you sitting on the bed for with the phone, covering half your face, displaying cleavage? What is that? What is that? Really? And you have the audacity to say to guys, or to say to people that your guy's controlling and he doesn't like you or wanting to post them kind of pictures. Okay, let's flip it and reverse it again. Let's say, for example, if your guy is outstandingly good looking, the man looks like Antonio Banderas in his prime, Brad Pitt in his prime, bloody, the man's got it going on. And not only does he get attention on the street and when he goes to the after, he's posting pictures too. 8-pack, buffed, great hair, beard, perfection. He looks awesome. And 10,000 girls are liking and making comments. Oh, you look absolutely amazing. God, I've never seen anyone like you in my area. Oh, I'd love to meet you. God, I'd love to be your girlfriend. And the worst thing is, when you look at all of these comments and you look at these likes and you look at these girls, they look better than you. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. There's going to be a problem. So why is it so hard to accept when the shoe's on the other foot? What's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that communication is the key. Boundaries. You need to set clear boundaries. What's the purpose of dating? I thought dating was you go out with somebody and you're assessing their viability to become long-term partners. Okay, so there's other things called hookup culture and foodies. I'm not going to talk about those. Let's just talk about the dating. So if you're dating someone and you are assessing all the above, would it not make sense to list your boundaries from the beginning? Communicate, sit, talk. If you sit there and you're with a girl and you say, yeah, okay, we're cool, everything else. One of my pet hates, or what I don't want to tolerate, is when a girl posts pictures of herself in like sexual positions or inappropriate positions or showing a copious amount of unnecessary flesh. He can talk about that. If the girl says, no, well, I like doing that and I like my validation, so I'm not stopping. Well, if she says that, well then walk away. Man up, walk away. It doesn't matter if you don't find another girl for whatever, but I guarantee you, you'll be a lot happier in 3 months than you will be in 3 months with this girl. Okay? If the girl says, okay, that's fine, okay, winner, that's great. She'll have boundaries. Adhere to those also. Don't go on your crazy lad night outs. Don't do crazy things, you know? But the most important thing is the communication has to be clear. If anyone violates those boundaries, you must leave immediately. Because if you don't, that is how you're going to be tarnished with the traits of the Dark Triad unjustly. Example, the girl says, okay, I won't post them kind of things. 3 months later, you find out that she is posting them kind of things and it's pretty bad. You confront her. You ask her about it. She wants to stop. Sorry, she doesn't want to stop. If she doesn't want to stop, walk away. Because if you then proceed to try and control her social media, if you then proceed to try and take her phone off her, guess what you're going to be called? Guess what everyone's going to see you as? Walk away. Walk away. It's the same on both sides. Talk. Put down your boundaries. Any violations, express your feelings about them. If there's no compromise, walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Drippin's Reactions. I'm J. Benjamin Alpha. I'll see you again.